Greetings! I am the Bard. We have busked our way through the seaports of Holyhead and the cacophonous metropolis of Cardiff, recounting our story to knights, royalty, fishers, and farmers. I'm unsure how we paraded into this pungent providence populated by peasants, but we will perform to you nonetheless, and we proudly present to you a song and a dance. You seem to be a jolly crowd, so oohs and ahs are both allowed. Lend us your ears and we'll guide you along an adventure that dates back to medieval times. 1349, a year riddled with plague, when a family of self-loving royals from the kingdom of Gwynedd, Wales, found a book with a warning, do not open, for the secrets it clearly unveiled. All of them lived with their morals a twist, so it's hardly a shock they refused to resist. They opened the book and found magic. The book held instructions for magic. Why do they seem unimpressed?
It's a Barnes & Noble Classic edition of Sherlock Holmes.
You expected billowing smoke, flashes of lights, or unicorns galloping into the sunset. This is a book. Anyone who reads a book experiences a different kind of magic. The imperceivable magic living in our imagination. Fine, explain the book to the audience.
Spells to make gold out of honey and milk. Charms to make fur feel like fine woven silk.
Potions that promised you'd love till you cried.
The more that they read,
The more they all had to try.
I could live forever. Take a walk among the stars.
Close my eyes and see the future.
Oh, he'd love me till death do we part.
Where do we start? Where do we start? Where do we start?
King Math of Gwynedd cast a spell to stunt his aging.
Kamiata imivio ambeth.
King Math's daughter, Princess Arianrode, chose a spell to see the future. Prince Gwydion chose to teleport to an unknown location. Princess Gawain of Powys, his fiancée, attempted to retrieve him. Gawain's spell flopped, for reasons we'll learn later, but what I must tell you now is there was a warning on the grimoire's opening page.
For every usage of magic, there's an equal and opposite anti-magic.
Of course, they only read it after casting the spells. What kind of story begins with the rules followed precisely? You came here to choose a
song and a dance.
I'm so nervous that I'm sweating. Or is that the plague? I keep forgetting.
Lend us your ears and we'll guide you along an adventure that dates back to medieval times.
Now tell them what kind of time it was.
It was a time that was bursting with magic. Unraveling all over the world. And here in our kingdom of Gwynedd, we are unfiltered, unabashed, and undeniably unrestrained, unraveling magicians. We are.
There are dozens of ways to skin a cat. If you use vinegar, you can pickle the cat. True love is like water. You cannot expect to catch either in a burlap sack. The Illuminati killed Tupac!
Arianrode, you'll never get them to sleep like that.
You cage a noble steed.
I'm sure I do. The spell Arianrode cast gave her psychic powers. As a result, the anti-magic meticulously mashed her mind to mush. Arianrode's husband passed before the birth of their twin sons. Due to her unstable mind, Arianrode found it challenging to care for them.
Good evening, Goen, Rhiannon, King Math.
You can call me father.
He keeps a hedgehog in his pocket and wears tight shoes.
I beg your pardon?
Ironroad, what are you doing?
I'm documenting my memories and visions.
This page has pictures of feet drawn on it.
It's a lucrative form of currency in the future. Oh, remember, keep 1 foot on the goat.
She's gone mad. Who are these puny bespallers?
These are the twins, my sons. This one is Dylan, and this one is...
What's the Altson's name?
I lost his name among the clamor.
You boil-brained doll cup?
This outburst of emotion caused Arianrode to experience a psychic vision.
I told you I always have your back, brother.
One prince, 2 princes, dead prince footprints. 1 prince, 2 princes, dead prince footprints.
Stop babbling, you mewling coot!
Arianrode, knowing the vision showed her grown sons, assumed King Math's influence would lead them to walk this self-destructive path.
I place this curse upon his head. No name or weapons will he hold. A human wife he'll never wed until the time I make it so.
You pigeon-livered minx! Give me the children!
No, I will not give you my sons.
Arianrode, you are unfit to raise them. I order you to leave the children in my care and never return.
But King Math, surely we could...
Be quiet, Goen. Arianrode, give me my grandsons. Good girl.
1 prince, 2 princes, dead prince footprints.
Rhiannon, help me with Dylan's blanket.
Holy flapdragon! He has a tail?
When Arianrode cast her spell, the anti-magic transformed Dylan into a merman. Thus, Arianrode set her psychic vision into motion by acting upon it. 20 years passed. King Math built waterways permitting Dylan to swim through the castle grounds with ease. His brother, the unnamed young prince, was in love with Lady Bloodaweth of Ceredigion.
Chip a little more away from the left side, make it symmetrical.
I'll whittle it down to nothing if you keep requesting alterations. Is that better?
It's perfect, Dylan. Be honest, though. Is giving Bloodaweb a love spoon too forward?
It better not be. You had me spend a whole month carving it.
I would have done it myself if I could hold a knife.
Blodaweth will love it.
You're right. Thank you, Dylan. I owe you one.
You know I always have your back.
Dylan, are you and your brother out here?
She's coming! Hide the love spoon, and I'll distract her. You keep thwacking until...
Until what?
Beats me.
Why are you attacking the ground with a stick?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
I'm playing a game.
What's it called?
Yeah, what's it called?
Badger in a bag. I never claimed it was highbrowed. You play it with a sword.
Another reason I'm glad you can't carry one. Not to mention your grandfather might have shipped you off to fight in the Crusades.
When will that religious bickering end?
Dylan, we'll sooner see you clog dancing through the streets.
What was that?
A dragon!
A fallen star!
A stinky vagrant.
The man introduced himself as Prince Gwydion.
You must be our Uncle Gwydion.
The one who's been missing since we were born.
Codswallop, I haven't been missing. I've been precisely where I intended.
As soon as I could hold a quill, I drew a map of the stars. and fastened it above my bed to share my dreams with Saturn and Mars. I know you're all going to laugh. As a child I would long for a chat with the man on the moon, or an evening swim through the Milky Way, or to play hide and seek with a comet in flight. It's a dream I carry to this day. It's always here, tucked away in a pocket above my heart. My map of the stars, all my dreams on one simple chart.
All children dream about the stars.
It doesn't explain where you've been.
Ugh, you misunderstand. I was unhappy with only a drawing of the stars. I needed to live there.
So when we found a magic book, imagine my delight. When lo and behold, there's a traveling spell, and it promised the user would travel by flight. Well, of course, I used it at once, and when I arrived, I met with the man on the moon. He's a lovely chap, though surprisingly dim. He assumed I was lost. Where's your compass, young man? Which I answered with a grin. It's always here, tucked away in a pocket above my heart. My map of the stars, all my dreams on one simple chart. Now I can confirm the Earth is indeed shaped like a sphere. On Venus a day takes over a year. Neptune is single despite his rings. Pluto is small, but boy can she sing. Mercury always wears a smile. But the one thing in space that grinds my gears is how swiftly I fell after all of those years, when I found myself fighting for all that I'm worth with a meteor hell-bent on visiting Earth. I had dominion over the entire universe, taken away by this tiny rock. Is that grass softly working its way in between my toes? Gross. What's that sound? Oh, the ocean. I should have known. I have always been a stranger here. Who would notice if once again I disappeared? Take me to my father, King Math. He owns a book I need to return to the stars. Now where's my map? It's always here, tucked away in a pocket above my heart. My map of the stars, all my dreams on one simple chart. Together we'll go back to the stars. No, you can't stop me when I'm on the stars, where I belong. I belong.
Around the time that Dylan and his brother were born, another child, the Prince of David, disappeared. The King of David attributed the crime to the child's mother, Queen Rhiannon, and banished her to Gwynedd. There, King Math ordered Rhiannon to carry him wherever he liked. Medieval law is unfair and sexist.
Rhiannon, would you fetch my ledger?
Which one is it?
The red book.
What do you mean red?
I confess I find it positively easy to incorporate some torture in his day. I've a migraine, hope it's temporary. Still, I must admit the colors violet, red, and blue have gone all gray. I love to twist his patience into a nut. It's very simple, and it hits the spot. Just look at the smile it brought.
It's the second book from the left.
Your left or mine?
We're facing the same way.
Well, you see, besides the migraines, there's one tiny complication. I suffer from an onset of the spins. The spins, right? You've never had to deal with it. Allow me to explain. Essentially, my left and right are twins. If I were bolder and kicked him behind the knee, I can't imagine the punishment I'd see in the dungeon behind lock and key.
Carry me to the bookshelf. I'll find it myself.
It's one step.
It only takes one step to twist an ankle or locate a wayward sewing needle.
But
You are required to obey per the conditions of your punishment.
there are people in this world I know are innocent and pure. There are people I assume deserve to die. And although I cannot claim to be an expert in the field who allowed this churlish man boy stay alive, it's such a thrill to poke him until he cracks, though less amusing when he pokes me back. He's a megalomaniac. It's like he's smashed and he is bashed and he is crushed upon my head, left me twitching on the floor until my spirit's good and dead. Though I must obey his every wish, it cannot go unseen. Every fiber of my being still agrees I am a queen. Yet I know lashing out will not heal my soul or set me free. Even so, there's no reason to treat me this way. Someday soon I will leave this place, show the world he's a huge disgrace. Someday soon I will be...
Pardon my intrusion. I have urgent news for Lady Rhiannon. Your husband, the King of David, has died.
My punishment... It's over!
What about my book?
You cleaned up nicely, Uncle Gwydion. You smell better, too.
Thank you, nephew. I mean, Prince. What's your name? You never told me.
Nephew or prince will work just fine for now.
Who are you? And why are you in my private chambers?
Don't you recognize me? It's Gwydion, your son.
I'll leave you two alone.
I remember you being scrawnier.
I disappeared for 20 years, and that's your opening remark to me? I suppose it doesn't matter. I didn't come for idle chatter. I need the grimoire. Where is it?
I dislike that book. It's full of gibberish. Goen will tell you where it is. Goen!
There's no need to shout. Oh, I didn't realize you had company, King Math.
This is my son, Prince Gwydion. He needs the grimoire.
I don't believe we've met before. Ah! What was that for?
Bard, take me to my bedchambers.
I'm Princess Goen of Pois. We were supposed to be married before you ran away in cowardice.
I didn't run away out of cowardice. And either way, you didn't have to slap me so hard.
You should have said if you didn't want to marry me. I certainly didn't want to marry you. But you used magic and ran away. Do you know what that did to me? The anti-magic to your little spell left me physically stuck on the castle grounds.
What do you mean, anti-magic?
For every usage of magic, there's an equal and opposite anti-magic. It's a law we learned after you left. The point is, though I wanted to, I've never been able to leave. I've been trapped here, raising your cursed nephews.
Cursed?
Goen explained the prince's curse to live without a name, weapons, or to marry a human wife. She also explained how the anti-magic for that curse turned Dylan into a merman.
I cast a spell to retrieve you the day you left. I thought it failed, but perhaps it had a delayed reaction. Regardless, you're home now, and I suspect I can finally leave.
Goen's assumptions would prove accurate.
Before you go, show me to the grimoire. I need the traveling spell again.
Here's the book. Although you won't find the traveling spell. I removed it and hid it somewhere you'll never find it.
You're joking! I need that spell to return to my home on the stars. Goin', I cannot be stuck here.
I said the same thing to myself. Now you know what it's like.
Goin', I'll do anything. Just tell me what to do to get that spell.
Fine. I'll give you the spell if you lift the curse on your nephews. Reason with your sister, Arianrode, or cast the all-purpose magic removal spell. I don't care how you do it. But you will stay here until you remove the curse.
All-purpose magic removal spell?
The all-purpose magic removal spell would obliterate magic. However, the spell's instructions puzzled everyone. The spellcaster must stand neither indoors nor outdoors, on land nor water, on foot nor the back of an animal. The riddle was unsolvable.
That sounds easy.
What are you doing?
A handstand. I'm not on foot or the back of an animal.
I can see your undergarments.
Don't stare. It's rude. Avert your eyes and read me the spell.
You're indoors.
So?
You can't cast the spell indoors. It says so right here.
I'll try it in a doorway leading outside.
Well, then you will still be on land.
This is ridiculous. I won't let you or my family rope me into madness. I'm leaving with or without the traveling spell.
Before we continue with our story's central plot, you are perhaps wondering about Arianrode.
Come in. Rhiannon! You're tied up like a Wetzel's pretzel.
What's a Wetzel's pretzel?
In the shopping mall, there's a store between Bath & Body Works and Victoria's Secret.
What's your secret?
Nobody knows. Something about angels or underpants.
Arianrode, I need one of your psychic visions.
Arianrode squandered the money left behind by her deceased husband and received no financial support from her family. As such, she sells her talent for psychic visions to survive.
I don't call them psychic visions. I weave the future.
Arianrode, I need to find my son, the Prince of Dovet. A demon stole him in the night when he was a baby. Everyone assumes I ate him.
Are you a cannibal?
No! Someone framed me and smeared blood on my mouth while I was asleep. My husband blamed it on postpartum depression.
He didn't. Well, your payment is lacking for a vision of that caliber. Provide me a position in the court of Dovet, once you reclaim your throne, of course, and we have a deal.
Fine.
Stop! 9 Myriad Murmur. Put up rum, dairymen in pots.
Excuse me?
It's a palindromic sentence, King Math. It reads the same backward or forward.
You're a toad-spotted wantwit. You know that, right?
Arianrode, what did you see?
Your son is alive. He works in the court of Gwyneth.
What is my son's name?
Taliesin.
There's no Taliesin in King Math's court.
I assure you there is. Return once you've found him. We will travel to Dovet together, and then you can give me a position in your court.
I'll find him at once.
Arianrode entered the ordeal into her journal. Having bargained for a position in Rhiannon's court, she figured she would no longer need to sell her psychic visions to survive.
What's the matter, Blodoev?
My father sent someone to bring me home. He promised me in marriage to Grano Pebber.
Ground pepper?
Grano Pebber. He is the chief hunter of Ceredigion and an unbearable brute. I can't marry him.
This is awful news. And I had such a happy surprise for you today, too.
A surprise?
I made you this.
A love spoon.
Dylan helped me carve it. We made it from a fallen branch from our oak tree, where we had our first kiss.
It's the perfect gift. I'll carry it wherever I go, even if I have to go back to Ceredigion.
I'll make sure you avoid what's-his-name. We'll find a way. There has never been a compass that points toward love. There has never been a sure and steady road. You just take it step by step, one foot in front of the other. In the wandering you learn where you must go. Who says that our love is destined for the darkness? It's strong and will prevail. If you take my hand and step out of the shadows, we might shed a little light on our unfinished fairy tale. I would tame 100 dragons just to keep you safe. I would plant a field of roses for your smile. I would race across the earth from corner to corner if I knew we'd be together for a while. Who says that our love is destined for the darkness? It's strong and will prevail. If you take my hand and step out of the shadows, we might shed a little light on our unfinished fairy tale. Our love is destined for the darkness. It's strong and will prevail. If you take my hand and step out of the shadows, we might shed a little light on our unfinished fairy tale.
Pardon my interruption. Gowan and I have spoken, and I agreed to break your curse.
Gwydion, I thought you
We'll
said...
visit Aryan Road.
She refuses to speak with us. King Mathis tried.
I think I know a way to ensure Aryan Road will cooperate.
When do we leave?
Dylan, Mother lives a half-mile from the ocean.
I'll swim to the shore. From there, you can...
For the last time, we won't carry you, you impertinent tuna!
Sorry, I just want to have a little control over my situation.
Our mother might not trust us if we bring a merman.
I get it. You don't want me to come.
Dylan, I'm not explaining this again. You know I have your back.
The family, with me in tow, took the trip to Aryan Road's manor to lift the curse. Our plan required 4 phases. First, Aryan Road needed to invite us into her home. Second, we needed to convince Aryan Road to give her son a name. Third, we would indulge Aryan Road to provide weapons for her son. And lastly, we would receive Aryan Road's blessing to have her son marry Lady Bloodoweb. Gwydion provided the solution for the first phase of our task.
My sister Aryan Road always opens her door for a Mari Lloyd.
What's a Mari Lloyd?
Mari Lloyd is a Welsh wassailing tradition. A group of individuals sings a battle of wits with the folks inside. If the Mari Lloyd party wins the campaign, the homeowners let them in for food, drinks, and storytelling. It's as nonsensical as it sounds. Shall I begin? Hark! We lay upon your door a melody sublime. Whether or not you like our tune, you must respond in rhyme. Insult us, adore us, but do not ignore us. You cannot avoid
Mari Lloyd. Wassailing we come and wassailing we'll go.
She's carrying a hobby horse.
But why?
Goodness knows.
A Mari Lloyd? Nobody's brought a Mari Lloyd this way in years. Delightful! This is Karen. Say good morning, Karen. It's a Mari Lloyd tradition to carry a hobby horse. I'm surprised you arrived without one of your own.
Where did you find a unicorn skull?
The holiday clearance section at Joanne Fabric.
I'll challenge you to a battle of wits to rid you from my home. If I succeed, you must depart and leave me all alone. Insult me, berate me, for goodness sakes, negate me. I can't be destroyed.
Maury Lloyd, wassailing till dusk, wassailing till dawn.
You know we plan to be true.
Cute.
Bring it on, bring it on.
Bloodweb, why are you going over to her side?
She'll be less suspicious if we pretend it's all fun and game.
Friends, let the battle of wits begin. No insult is off limits if it rhymes. The first team to break the rhyme scheme loses.
Me first! This hedge-born fop-doodle stinks like a prune. Cover your nose if you don't want to swoon.
Listen here, mumble crust, muffle your pride. Prunes keep me moving, it's nothing I hide.
That was a lackluster offense to fart with. Start with. Go in, go in.
You are as vile as this crooked-nosed knave. He's years overdue for a bath and a shave.
Perhaps I should help pull the stick from your bum. Your insults are stiff and frankly quite dumb.
It's the final showdown. Bard against the witch. I haven't heard nonsense so dense and disturbed. Your general presence, it makes me perturbed.
Your hair is a bird's nest, your skin is so orange, your face is so mangled like Bullocks. What rhymes with orange?
Wassailing as strangers, wassailing as friends. All is forgiven when the Maury Lloyd ends. The Maury Lloyd ends. The Maury Lloyd ends.
Having won the Maury Lloyd, Arianrode invited us into her home, completing the first phase of our task. We entered unrecognized, allowing us to move into the second phase of our plan, providing the young prince with a name.
Good lady, we will now entertain you with a story. To determine the tale we tell, let's play a game. If you can guess one of our names, you may choose the tale. Otherwise, we'll decide upon the story.
Bron, Andres, Kigfa, Fleur, and Llewellyn.
You guessed his name correctly. It is Llewellyn.
She broke the first part of the curse.
What story would you like us to entertain you with, my lady?
You will tell me the story of the Salmon of Knowledge.
Ooh, the Salmon of Knowledge. I've never heard of it.
Does anyone know it?
I do. I witnessed the story of the Salmon of Knowledge firsthand. How did you know to ask about it?
I like enchanted animals.
All right, if you insist. I'll sing the story while the rest of you pantomime. Llewellyn? Llewellyn? You play the hunter. Everyone else should jump in as best you can. Right then, here we go! I once knew an Atlantic salmon who was trapped at the base of a well. And the well stood beneath a hazelnut tree, and the old tree was under a spell. See, the nuts that it grew carried knowledge. Just one nibble would alter your mind, since the salmon could not afford college. He ate all of the nuts he could find. Then one crisp autumn morn, when the golden leaves were covered in dew, the distant call of a horn sent a thirsty hunter barreling through. Me to the well I brought my grail, and braced myself to hoist the pail. Little then did I know I would soon unveil the salmon of knowledge who lived in the well, who ate all the nuts from the tree that was under the spell. Once the fish was on land, I admit
My joy could not be concealed. I took the fish in my hand and knew he'd make an excellent meal. From my pack I drew my blade. From my pack I drew my blade.
My lady, my colleague seems to have misplaced his knife. Would you lend him one of yours?
Of course.
From my pack I drew my blade, and soon the salmon was filleted, and roasting over a fire, what a meal he made. The salmon of knowledge who lived in the well, who ate all the nuts from the tree that was under the spell. I had hardly taken a taste or two when we started the whole rigmarole, and my hunger for knowledge was fed. Every topic worth noting flooded my mind like a hurricane out of control. History, philosophy, chemistry, and math, political science, poetry and finance, swirling and tumbling inside my head. The salmon of knowledge who lived in the well, who ate all the nuts from the tree that was under the spell. The salmon of knowledge, the salmon of knowledge and me.
Did you enjoy the story?
No! The salmon of knowledge was my friend. I'm reporting you to PETA.
Surely the story was fictional.
No, I did eat the salmon of knowledge. Now I possess all of his wisdom.
Which is how we fooled you into breaking the curse.
Uncle Gwydion, no!
He's your son, the one you cursed to live without a name and without the right to bear arms.
Gwydion, be quiet.
There were 3 parts to the curse of my son.
3?
Yes! The first part was to live without a name. The second part was to never bear arms. The third and most important part was that I could never marry a human wife.
I will not lift the 3rd part of the curse, and I demand you leave my home. Out!
Aryan wrote, your son is a decent man. Cut your act and make this right.
When the flower stands to make a wish, be sure it doesn't bump its head.
What?
Your dreams are confetti. Poof!
I know I've been gone for 20 years, but I don't remember my sister being so absent-minded.
Remember the 5th of November. Remember the Alamo. Remember the Titans.
If that's all you have to say to me, I won't subject myself to your twaddling any longer.
Brother! Help me! Clip, clop. Clip, clop.
Where is Taliesin? Aryan Road told me my son was here, and his name is Taliesin.
There's one person whose proper name is Taliesin. However, he prefers to use a moniker. I'll tell you who it is if you...
It's the Bard.
How did you guess?
I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. Every other man here is your blood relative.
Fair point.
Where is he?
He and the family went to Aryan Road's manor to lift a curse.
I just came from Aryan Roads. I knew I took the wrong way home.
Wait! I've been starving! Carry me to the kitchen!
You failed.
Oh, we lifted 2 parts of the curse, but Uncle Gwydion blew our cover before we finished.
In my defense, I learned about the curse this morning.
Why don't you do everyone a favor and go back to the stars?
I'm leaving.
I have to go too. I'll make sure she's all right.
I wondered whether we were better off without you. It seems my inclinations were correct.
Thanks.
Isn't anyone going to help me inside?
We'll find a way to lift the 3rd curse, but it might take time. I cannot wait. This letter came to me. My father demands I marry Grano Pebber.
Chronic Pebble?
Grano Pebber, the chief hunter of Ceredigion. He is an awful man and I refuse to marry him. There must be something I can try to bid these curses farewell, goodbye. And although I've never cast it, I can read this book all right. And there must be answers here somewhere. Turn a teapot into a sundial? No. Spell for temporary invisibility? No. Resurrect the dead? Better not. We've tried everything. Maybe this will work. A spell to become a woman of flowers that grow in the fields and scale up the bowers. It's just what I'll be, a woman of flowers.
No, you've got to be dreaming. This plan will never get you results.
But yet, I know my powers are growing. Don't try and it will be my own fault. A woman of flowers? A dryad. The curse on Llewellyn says he can't marry a human wife. If I were a dryad... We can't perform magic. This one turns magical creatures into humans. Well, we considered it for Dylan to turn him from a merman back into a human, but figured the anti-magic might be risky. There are laws of magic we must obey. For every usage of magic, there's an equal and opposite anti-magic. I know. Magical law, anti-magic, reversal spells, it all confuses me. It confuses me too. Let me think. The curse on Llewellyn says he cannot marry a human. What if he marries a dryad? We can use this spell to transform me into a dryad. Then, Llewellyn and I can get married. Afterward, we'll use this other spell to turn me back into a human. We are thereby avoiding all adverse effects of any possible anti-magic. I like it. A spell to become a woman of flowers. If all that I do for hours and hours is stare at this page locked up in this tower. Oh, this writing is hazy. What do I need to cast this old spell?
Leaves from the oak, sweet of the meadow, and broom I see is needed as well.
Read the rest to me. Plant the 3 items in a pot of soil. Well, we don't have any oak. Yes, we do. I told Llewellyn a love spoon was the perfect gift. Soak with water from a cold spring. I hope river water will suffice. Place the container in front of the rising sun and recite the following incantation. Rising sun? High noon will have to do. There's a chant. We will say it together. It failed. Oh, maybe we should have used all the proper ingredients. What are you doing? I'm stress eating. Gross! I'm eating dirt. Wait, plants get nutrients from the soil. It worked! You're a dryad. I think I'm going to be sick.
She said no name he'll answer for. She said he'd never bear an arm. She said no wife he would adore. Well, now that last curse is no more.
Who is there? It's a fish out of water!
I'm your son, Dylan, and I demand you transform me into a human.
You have the wrong person.
When you cursed my brother, Llewellyn. Oh, you remember Llewellyn. He was here, yesterday. The anti-magic gave me this stupid tail. I crawled half a mile from the sea. I planned to stay until you turned me into a human.
Arianrode read in her journal about her psychic vision the night she cursed Llewellyn. She remembered seeing Llewellyn murder a merman and realized her reaction to the psychic vision ensured it.
I presume you brought the spell with you?
I thought you'd know it.
I have psychic visions on my own. To perform magic, I need the grimoire.
You're kidding me.
I need the grimoire to cast a spell.
Fine. I'll just crawl all the way home to go get it! Could you push me?
No.
Fine. But you're ruining the illusion!
All this time, you and I worked together, never knowing our relationship?
Arianrode saw it, and I believe her.
Wait, am I the Prince of David?
No, you're the king. Remember? Your father is dead, and thank goodness for that.
Leave me alone!
I think I understand the all-purpose magic removal spell. Watch.
Why are you jumping up and down?
If I recite the spell in the air, I won't be on land or water.
It isn't going to work. You cannot be outdoors or indoors.
What if I stood underneath a pavilion?
It doesn't work. You'd know that if you had stayed on Earth.
Would you at least let me try?
May I speak with Llewellyn alone?
Bloodoweth explained she transformed into a dryad, thus finding a loophole around the third part of the curse.
Does that mean we can get married?
You'll have to ask me properly to find out.
Lady Bloodoweth of Ceredigion, will you do me the honor of becoming my wife?
Of course I will. I run just to listen when I hear your voice. My feet don't touch the ground. I smile even if I catch a word or two. It is the sweetest sound. And one day soon that word or two will suddenly ring even clearer. Suddenly that word or two is I do. And they're meant for
I watch just to catch a glimpse of sparkling eyes, a smile that shines like gold. I know that I'll never find a face like yours, such beauty to behold. And one day soon those sparkling eyes reflect a light that's even kinder. Suddenly those sparkling eyes, they will find me. You'll show me the world I've been missing.
You'll teach me the things that I ought to know.
Bring me to a place that I will call home. So it's out of the woods and out of the darkness, out of the woods and into the world I go.
Here is the traveling spell, as promised.
But I failed to earn it.
You helped enough to earn your reward.
Are you sure?
I made up my mind. Please stay for the wedding, though. I'm sure Llewellyn and Bloodoweth would appreciate it.
For once in my life I wish that I could fly as weightless as a bird. You'll see me soaring from high above and ground me with one word.
Then arm in arm we'll walk the earth. I'll introduce you to the people. Suddenly I'm not alone.
Aryan Road will have to wait for the entire book.
What are you doing?
Aryan Road is going to remedy my tail situation.
You weren't planning on using this spell, were you? But what about that magic law? For every usage of magic, there's an equal and opposite anti-magic?
I'm tired of being an afterthought in everyone's plans.
Dylan, believe it or not, you and I are cut from the same cloth. We'll go to Aryan Road's manor together and try again. I'll perform this spell myself if she refuses.
Promise?
You have my word.
What if I'm lost in a world so big?
It's a great big tree and you're only a twig.
What if I find it's far too small?
Carry me into the hall.
What if the voice in the eyes I see have found a pair?
The pair's not me.
What if I stay? I'll never know.
I've lost my mind.
I've got to go.
Please show me the world I've been missing.
Please teach me the things that I ought to know. Me to a place that I will call home.
You'll call it home. So it's out of the woods and out of the darkness, out of the woods and into the world.
I go.
It's out of the woods and into the world. I go.
There's a rumor that's been spreading about a witch who lives by the sea. She'll tell your future in exchange for gold, and I gather the witch must be me. Lords and ladies scramble, form a line outside my door, each one with a question they cannot ignore. There's power in knowledge, at least that's what they claim. If the future's not bright, at least they've a witch to blame. A witch to blame. This journal in my possession has margins filled to the brim with exquisite memories I can't recall, in a life I've forgotten I have lived. I wake up every morning as a stranger in this place, utterly alone, my memories erased. It's the price for my visions, these blocks on my brain, but I've written it here. I am the witch to blame. The witch has written it here. Hope is maintained, the ink is fresh, the page unstained. I've sent for a volume of charms and spells. Something in there will help to expel these horrible visions that clutter my mind, render my eyesight totally blind. Wait for the boy with the tail of a fish. When he arrives, I'll have what you returned.
Ugh, carrying you all this way is gonna make me smell like seafood for a month.
I have been eating a lot of fish lately.
Isn't that cannibalism?
Did you bring the grimoire?
We brought the spell that you promised to cast for me.
I asked for the grimoire.
Well, you helped my brother by giving him a name and a sword. Heck, Blodoweth turned into a dryad just so they can get married.
They did what?
Llewellyn? Not you too! Oh no.
What did you see?
I will transform you into a human if you keep 3 promises with me.
Anything.
Return with the grimoire.
Consider it done.
Warn the family about the Battle of the Trees.
Battle of the what now?
Finally, either return Bloodweth to her human form or kill her. She cannot live as a dryad.
We'll transform her into a human.
We have a deal.
I'll leave you to it. I prefer not to meddle with magic.
Goin', would you pass the water?
No, give me that.
But I'm thirsty!
Then drink the water. Don't pour it on your head.
Of all the days he starts screaming, it's the day I have a splitting headache.
What happened to you?
Gwydion informed the family he and Dylan visited Aryan Road.
Aryan Road cast a spell to give Dylan human legs. The anti-magic gave me these satyr hooves.
Where is Dylan?
He's in my chambers looking for pants and shoes. He wanted it to be a surprise.
This reminds me of when I turned you into a deer. Do you remember? You all should have seen him. It was hilarious.
It was cruel.
Merlin taught Arthur by transforming him into animals. He became a king. You never had the gizzards.
Merlin transformed Arthur for an afternoon at a time with his consent. You abandoned me in the forest for 3 years.
You were whiffly waffly.
I was 7 years old.
So what? Some people don't even live that long.
I hate you.
What was that?
I said I hate you!
So there's some rage in you yet. If you say you hate me, if you swear you do, make more than pretty words, back them up with proof. In this world we live in, not what we say but do, is all that people care for. Talk is cheap if lies are in there too. You think you've won them over, you think you'll take my place. I won't hold my breath much longer, you're a novelty we can replace. Ignore reality, live your fantasy, even wear a crown. But a king can't take his throne till the last one's in the ground. Don't waste more time, the sword is in your hand. One palpable hit, the whole world's in your command. Of course you cannot kill me, you cur, you haven't the bite. You keep the blade so dry, I can't believe you came to fight. Ignore reality, live your fantasy, even wear a crown. But a king can't take his throne till the last one's in the ground. Do it! Take the sword and rip out my gizzards. Chop me into 1,000 tiny pieces. I beg you, release me from this endless, meaningless life. No. You always were a disappointment, flouncing about with your cockamamie star chart. I needed you to be a knight, a warrior, not some ragabrash daydreamer.
I needed you to be a father.
Llewellyn, Blodoev, check on the preparations in the hall. King Math, would you join them? I would like you to approve the wine selection.
The first sensible idea anyone's had all morning.
The day King Math transformed me back into a human, he said I'd be married that afternoon. I was 11 years old, and he didn't even tell me your name.
Gwydion, if I had known, I would have never cast that spell that brought you here.
I can't go home to the stars with these hooves. I'm hideous.
No, Gwydion, you're beautiful.
You remind me so much of a barber I knew, who was witty and smart, loyal and true. Despite all his charms, he was filled with remorse, for under his hat were the ears of a horse. He went to a marsh several miles from his shop, where the horny toads croaked and the water birds yapped. He propped himself up in the grass and the weeds, and told his story to all of the reeds. He sang la-dee day and la-dee do. There's my secret, now you know. Well, elsewhere in town a feast was prepared. It was lavish and grand, no expense would be spared. There was music aplenty, except for one type. The piper was missing, he had broken his pipe. He went to that marsh several miles out of town, where he knew there'd be reeds he could chop to the ground and fasten together to make a new flute. Then back at the feast, he gave it a toot. It sang la-dee day and la-dee do. There's a man in town with the ears of a horse.
What did the man do?
He took off his hat and laid down his pride, wiped a tear, but held his head high. Then one of his friends erased all his fears by pledging to love him, including his ears. It matters little if you've hooves or horns, humps or warts or prickly thorns. They fail to mask my favorite part, the man you are inside your heart. La-dee day and la-dee do. There's my secret, now you know. La-dee day and la-dee do. There's my secret, now you know.
Goen, I understand you're trying to be helpful, but that's a children's story.
The message teaches everyone the importance of unconditional love.
Ugh, I hate that term, unconditional love. It implies there's an alternate version in which it is acceptable to apply conditions. My father either loves me or he doesn't. Which one is it?
I'm uncomfortable answering.
Why doesn't my father love me?
He cast a spell prolonging his life. I've watched the anti-magic dissolve his humanity. He's incapable of feeling love.
That's a crummy excuse.
It's a reason for you to expand your search for love and family. You have your nephews, your sister, me.
You?
Being a family has nothing to do with blood. Disclude your father from your family if he squandered your respect. You deserve better.
You're right. I do. That's why I'm leaving.
I wish you'd stay.
You could come with me to the stars.
My place is here. Dylan, Llewellyn, and Blodowev need me. Speaking of which, I'm sure they'll want to begin the ceremony.
Wait! I'll go with you.
After carrying King Math on her back for many years, Rhiannon's posture was preposterously problematic. So I built her a back brace to help her stand tall. This also gave us the opportunity to spend long overdue time together as mother and son.
You ate a fish and absorbed all of the knowledge in the world. I don't believe it.
Why not?
As smart as you must be, you could be a doctor, a lawyer, or a high-ranking official. Why do you work here as a glorified court jester?
Oh, I'm not glorified.
That makes it all the more puzzling and sad.
When I ate the salmon of knowledge, it taught me more about myself than anything else. I love being a storyteller. It makes me happy. I know beyond any reasonable doubt, no matter what riches or notoriety they may bring, nothing else could make me truly happy.
What about being a king?
I don't think so.
A king is not unlike a storyteller in every way. You might write history or change the world for the better.
What if I don't?
I know every mother thinks their crow is the blackest. But we worked together long before we knew we were mother and son. I have an outside perspective. You're eloquent, fair, and honest. 3 qualities among many that will serve you well as King of David.
There. You stand taller already.
How do I look?
You look like a queen.
Is Dylan ever going to show us his legs? Do you think he'll be tall? I bet he's going to be tall.
He'll probably be my height since we're twins.
Who cares? I'm bored and tired. Start the ceremony without him. I command you as your king.
Gwydion, we would like you to preside over the ceremony.
In a way, it's because of you we're getting married. We talked it over and insist you be the one who marries us.
Blessings and merry meet. Gentle lords and ladies, we gather to join the noble Prince Llewellyn and the fair Lady Bloodoweth together. They ask you here to share in their joy and to declare their love for one another before you.
Simple and easy, so simple and easy, this bliss, this peaceful love. Shadows of night, a dust of delight, our hearts in this tender cocoon. There's more to life than words or time or dreams or you or me. When our spirits tie a gentle knot, so tranquil, so in harmony. Hands intertwine with yours inside mine, so right, so warm and so right. There's more to life than words or time or dreams or you or me. When our spirits tie a gentle knot, so tranquil, so in
By the power vested in me by the realm, I pronounce Prince Llewellyn and Princess Bloodowedd husband and wife.
I'll get the grimoire so we can turn you into a human, Bloodowedd.
You'll make a fine prince and princess. If I ever die, which I won't, I hope you rule in my absence.
Gowan, you look ghastly.
The book is massive. I winded myself carrying it across the castle.
Good! Now I can find the spell to turn me into a human, and we won't have to worry about the anti-magic. Someone stole the spell to transform me into a human!
Dylan, you're finally here.
Where have you been?
See, he's just as tall as I am.
You! Yes, you, the one with the legs? I thought you'd be taller. Did you rip a spell from the grimoire?
Oh, I have it in my pocket. Maybe it fell out? Or, you're gonna laugh, I left it with Arianrode.
You're joking.
Gowan explained to Dylan that they planned on using the spell to return Bloodowedd to her human form.
My headache is getting worse.
You're sweating.
Arianrode predicted the Black Death's return. I think Gowan might have it. Arianrode specifically said that the side effects include headache, fatigue, and sweating, and if these symptoms are affecting you, to consult your nearest wizard to see if Eye of Newt was right for you. That's beside the point. The Black Death has returned, and I know why. Once was a plowman in this land who stole from the lord of the other world. Pity he did, for we all paid the price for the wrath of the lord of the other world. Shame he tried to steal from me my kingdom of serenity. Oh, pay the price in war. He stole but one dog and a lapwing and roebuck. Surely this couldn't mean war, this was ill luck. Plowman he gathered his brothers and armed them. That's how it started, the battle of the trees. The plowman knew that with his brothers, if they fought, they would be outnumbered. He said, I could use assistance, magic makes a great resistance. So they opened a book of spells, and with its skills the forest came alive and went to war.
What is he doing?
He's clog dancing.
Why are your arms stiff?
I crawled to and from Arianrode's manor. I'm exhausted.
You look ridiculous.
That's how Dylan accidentally invented step dancing.
The battle of the trees. The battle of the trees. The battle of the trees. That led to war. The battle was won, but the trees kept on living. Math's skillful hand made them calm and forgiving. The forest is home to the nymphs and the dryads. That's how it ended, the battle of the trees. The battle of the trees. The battle of the trees. The battle of the trees.
What does the Battle of the Trees have to do with the Black Death?
The spell the plowman cast turned an entire forest into dryads. The anti-magic from that spell caused the Black Death, and thousands of humans died. Because Bloodowedd transformed herself into a dryad, the Black Death will, and probably has, returned.
Everyone stand back. Stay at least 6 feet away from Goen. And don't touch her.
You can't catch the Black Death by touching me. It's transmitted through magic.
Cover your mouth when you talk. You will infect us all.
If the plague has returned, we might be stuck in isolation for a long time. We should prepare ourselves.
Isolation? I just got legs. I wanted to go to the hair salon for once. What are we gonna do in isolation?
I don't know. I'll probably learn how to speak Swedish.
I'm going to bake bread every day.
Since when do you enjoy baking?
I don't know. Since when does Llewellyn need to speak Swedish?
It's only been a few minutes and we're already so desperately bored.
Bored or not, none of us want to catch the plague.
Not everyone who catches the plague dies. I should know. I had it the first time it came around.
You're immortal. That doesn't count.
Well, there you have it. You'd have nothing to worry about if you were immortal. Problem solved.
That's terrible advice. Bard, call for the court physician.
I fired all the court physicians.
Why did you do that?
Why would I need a court physician? I never get sick. I'm so healthy. It's unbelievable. I'm the healthiest King Wales ever had. Maybe the healthiest in the entire world.
Oh, shut up.
There isn't anyone here with medical knowledge who can help me. We need to call a physician from one of the neighboring towns.
No, we need governmental leadership. Someone should exercise their sovereign power.
Why are you looking at me?
It isn't King Math calling the shots.
Rhiannon's right. I'm not.
I thought Goen made the decisions for the kingdom.
No, I'm unrelated to the royal family.
I haven't lived here in 20 years.
Who governs your kingdom?
Don't be silly. The English govern the kingdom.
What?
This statement was true. The Edwardian conquest of Wales in 1283 put the country under the command of Edward I, King of England.
Ew, English?
Nobody asked me if I approved such an absurd notion.
You didn't know?
Why else would we refer to ourselves as royalty?
I thought it was a family tradition. A way to celebrate your heritage and former glory.
Former glory?
Does this mean I'm not a queen anymore? And you aren't a king?
I don't think you ever were.
If the English govern our kingdom, they're doing a terrible job. They let the Black Death return.
I can't believe I married into this family.
Hey!
I promised to stay for the wedding, and I did. But since the plague is rearing its ugly head, I'm leaving for my home in outer space. Goodbye, and best of luck.
For the first time, Uncle Gwydion's self-isolation makes sense.
We would all be safer if we were quarantined.
Where are you going, Rhiannon?
To David! Unlike King Math, I must provide leadership to my kingdom, even if I'm no longer technically the ruler.
You can't return to David. I'm issuing a travel ban. Besides, I need you here to carry me.
My punishment ran its course. I refuse to carry you any further.
Ah!
Walk for yourself for once. Come along, Taliesin.
Rhiannon pushed me out of my throne. The body flax wench. Would someone help me up?
This excitement is tiring. I need to lie down.
Dylan, where is Arian Road in my reversal spell? It's our only chance to end this plague before it starts.
She wanted me to bring her the grimoire. I suspect she's at home.
Help! I've fallen, and I can't get up.
What if we used Gwydion's traveling spell? We could transport to Arian Road's manor in an instant.
We'll have to catch him.
Blodoev and I will find him. Dylan, stay here and keep searching for the spell you lost.
I suppose I'll stay here. On the ground.
Did you kill the dryad?
You scared me. How'd you get here?
I am once, twice, 3 times a lady. Lionel Richie told me so.
Who? Never mind. Where's the transformation spell?
Never mind the spell. I must retrieve the grimoire.
Wait for me.
Help me!
Even slugs inch their way across a room when they need to.
Did you call me a slug?
Ah, the book greeted me at the door.
What do you plan to do with it?
My psychic visions impair my brain, so I need a reversal spell.
We know the only genuine reversal spell is the all-purpose magic removal spell. It is impossible to decipher. Leave before you cause us any harm.
I never caused my boys any harm. I saved them.
A merman and a boy who can't lift a sword? They live as underprivileged freaks.
Better than dead. I saved you from dying, Dylan. Where did he go? He took the grimoire!
Carafir ir ser. Carafir ir ser. Carafir ir ser.
I imagined you'd be gone.
I'm practicing the words to the traveling spell.
We're on our way to flee the plague. We must hurry to make it some more hospitable before nightfall.
Wait, you've been narrating our activity since I crash-landed.
I have.
It's a little weird, but could you tell me how the story ends?
You use the traveling spell and return to the stars.
No, how does the story end for my family? I want to ensure they have a happy ending. Some of them, at least.
You have to live through it. But why bother? The stars wait for you.
The stars survived without me for millions of years. They aren't going to miss me.
I've chipped off tender fragments of my heart and scattered them like seeds into the ground. And though the rest of me will soon depart, my yearning ears will listen for the sound when they call me home. One day I'll hear a whisper at my door, and they'll call me home to add to the story once more. And when I tumble back into this place, with wrinkles in the corners of my smile, I wonder if they'll recognize my face or treat me like a stranger for a while. Will they call me home and welcome me with kindness at their door? Will they call me home to add to the story? I'm beginning to think that I had this all wrong. Maybe home's not a place, it's a feeling. It's a tender embrace, a mutual trust, a tapestry of memories you share. Write this down, give me parchment and pen. Now I know that I stay in the end to be with people who need me, who asked me to stay, people I'm learning to love. And they call me home. Yes, they call me home. I look at the stars and back at the earth. How could I compare? My home is not there anymore.
Mother, it appears our work in Gwyneth is unfinished. Gwydion's going to need a narrator to guide him through.
Run, Rhiannon, run!
Why are you laying on the ground?
Photosynthesis.
You're supposed to find Gwydion.
She insisted we stop. Did you find the spell?
I found Arianrode. She came to steal the grimoire, but I took it first.
Dylan, I have to know. How did you convince our mother to conjure human legs for you?
I asked her politely and she agreed.
Nonsense. To lift the first 2 parts of the curse, Mother had us do a whole song and a dance. What did you promise her in exchange for your legs?
I promised her the grimoire.
But you didn't give her the grimoire.
Fine! I promised I would kill Blodoweth. Happy?
What?
It was a lie, Llewellyn. You lied to her to lift the first 2 parts of your curse.
We pretended to be troubadours, not murderers.
And you didn't invite me to that little excursion.
Is that why you're upset? You promised to murder my wife because we didn't invite you to a Mari Lloyd? I thought you had my back.
Gone for less than an hour, and they're barely hanging by a thread.
Uncle Gwydion, you stayed.
Why miss a fantastic adventure?
Weren't you going to Dyfed?
Gwydion needed a narrator for the rest of his story.
We should head back to the castle. Gawain was in poor condition. Maybe a spell in this book could heal her.
But what about the transformation spell at Arianrode's home?
It's too late.
The slowest way to kill a rat is to drown it.
Is this water or poison?
You're about to die anyway. What does it matter?
Gawain, don't drink that!
I thought you were going to the stars.
Do you want to know my secret? I was lonely up there. I'd rather be here, with my friends.
Did you find the spell?
Not yet. We came to take care of you.
The all-purpose magic removal spell. We're going to perform it.
Are we?
There is a better way to end this plague.
What's she doing?
She thinks if she kills you, the plague won't spread.
Perform the spell while I distract her.
Stop this fighting at once!
Here it is. The all-purpose magic removal spell.
How do we stand neither indoors nor outdoors?
Neither on land nor water.
Neither on foot nor horseback.
I need help.
Maybe the solution isn't about choosing one, but both.
The roof on the well. If we stand under it, we can be neither indoors nor outdoors.
If you have 1 foot on the well and 1 on the ground, that's both on land and on water.
What about the horseback part?
My satyr hoofs. Technically, I'm not human from waist down. It's kind of itchy, but Blodoweth, you can step on my back and on the well. Rhiannon, hold the grimoire for her.
This configuration was the exact conditions in which the all-purpose magic removal spell would work. The all-purpose
They
magic...
cannot use that spell!
He can stand!
The king and Prince Dylan fought. With Matt's extended years of inactivity and Dylan's sore arms, the fight was harmless. Blodoweth recited the spell. The all-purpose magic removal spell took immediate effect. Gwydion and Blodoweth returned to their human form. Arianrode's mind was restored. The curse on Llewellyn and Dylan lifted, and Dylan remained human. Gawain regained her health. Math's aging process was restored, as was his humanity. And the grimoire?
It's blank. The magic is gone.
After a time, the family adjusted to life without magic. Gawain returned to health, and Arianrode moved in with her family.
How does it feel to be here again?
For years, I wasn't sure I lived here. Now every crack in the stone carries a story I remember and cherish.
That's how you can tell it's a home.
Dylan, stop!
Gawain, I'll never become a professional dancer if I don't practice.
Could you at least practice somewhere else?
Fine.
That's my son.
Father sends his blessing to our marriage. He even admits it was a mistake to arrange a marriage with Grano Pebber.
Grommet Petal.
For the last time, it's pronounced... Oh, never mind.
I carved you another love spoon, since you ate the last one.
Llewellyn, you shouldn't have.
Would you two lovebirds have this discussion in private?
I'll be in my chambers if you need me.
The all-purpose magic removal spell rendered the grimoire blank. Gwydion, Gawain, and Arianrhod spent years refilling the book, this time with their life stories and the stories of the people around them. This book became the Mabinogion, the oldest surviving example of British prose, which we celebrate centuries later. After the incident, Math and Gwydion ventured together into the forest.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I need to subtract myself from this equation. Can you find it in your heart to forgive me for what I've done to hurt you?
I don't think that would be healthy, but I can make peace.
That's enough.
Where do you plan to go?
Where do most old people go to live their final days and die?
Florida.
Do I have to?
Rhiannon's spine healed. Since we could no longer return to Dovet and rule, she and I chose to travel the land, telling our fantastic tale. Which reminds me, we must be on our way. There are other audiences to entertain.
How do the years go by? I wish that time could stall. Yet just like magic, the winter springs to summer fall. We share the things we learn. Our story is our song. Then just like magic, we journey on. We've reached the final chapter of our story. The time has come to turn the page and leave you with the end. Now that our tale is almost done, open up your eyes, life has just begun. Look for an open door, a brand new start. Proudly proclaim to everyone, life shines bright like a midnight sun. You should cherish it with all your heart. Keep 1 foot on the ground, you'll always stay inbound. But there's still magic if you plant it right where you belong. Or take the chance to soar, draw a map and go explore. You'll find the magic when you land on home. We've reached the final chapter of our story. The time has come to turn the page and leave you with the end. Now that our tale is almost done, open up your eyes, life has just begun. Look for an open door, a brand new start. Proudly proclaim to everyone, life shines bright like a midnight sun. You should cherish it with all your heart. It was a time that was bursting with magic, unraveling all over Wales. And here in our kingdom of Wales, we are unfiltered, unabashed, and undeniably unrestrained, unraveling magicians. No more.
Unraveling Magicians was created by Ryan Sequin and produced by the Saginaw Valley State University Department of Theater, featuring the voice talents of Seth Bearden as the Bard, Ryan Sequin as Gwydion, Olivia Granius as Gawain, Hannah Ducalan as Arianrhod, Adam Coggins as King Math, Austin Butterfield as Llewellyn, Brady Catcher as Dylan, Holly Greig as Bloodyweb, and Felicity Soares Chabot as Rhiannon. Direction by Ryan Sequin and Kylie Monahan. Additional audio mixing by Lucas Inman and artwork by Mia Berlanga. The original stage production of Unraveling Magicians featured the talented Ethan Bach as Gwydion. Tech liaisons were Amber Tanner and Jessica Burke. Stage management by Kylie Monahan, Trinity Caldwell, and Ariane Abraham. Lighting design by Morgan Gradowski. Scenic and prop design by Scott Lamont Jr. Costume design by Danny Durst. Hair and makeup design by Hannah Ducalan. Sound design by Brielle Miles Williams. Dramaturgy by Quinn Nichols. And fight choreography by Abby Burgess and Connor Wieland. We would like to extend additional thanks for production and technical support from Carla Cash, Michael Randolph, Lane Birchmeyer, Angela Burton, Holly Hauk, and Tommy Wedge. I'm Seth Bearden. Thank you for listening to Unraveling Magicians.